Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing about how to pull composite video output from Raspberry Pi 4B. In earlier versions there are separate RCA port, but in Raspberry Pi 4 we can see that the VGA signal is accessed through headphone socket. That is exactly a 3.5 mm TRRS port. So today we will be discussing how to make an interface cable and related settings, and how to make an old analog TV to work as a display unit for Pi. Assuming that the old analog TV should have at least an audio video input. So we need a TRRS male to RCA male interface cable to set up the connectivity between Pi and TV. These cables are readily available in market. This is my prototype, and I have used an old mobile phone headset which is having a 3.5 mm jack which is connected to an RCA connector that I extracted from an audio video cable. You might have noticed that there are only two jacks for RCA. This is because I have used only right channel audio and VGA output. If required, you can add left channel audio with an additional RCA cable. I am sharing the connectivity diagram here and a detailed setup. You can also go to my blog. After building this interface cable, the second thing we need to do is some changes in config.txt file to forcefully generate VGA signal. Please note that as per spec of Pi, there will be a slight degradation in overall performance once VGA output port is enabled. It is the main file that Raspberry Pi will be using to boot up and do the initial settings. There are many methods to do changes in config.txt file. The method I will be discussing here is using SSH. Please check below description to find other methods to achieve the same. First of all, we need to connect the Raspberry Pi to TV using connector, and RCA connector to be connected to TV's audio video input port. After that, we need to power up the TV and Raspberry Pi. Now open the CMD tool in Windows of another PC where you will be doing the SSH to Raspberry Pi. Now open Windows and click Run and then click Command. This will open the CMD prompt of Windows. After that, log in to Pi using SSH. You can type below command to SSH to Pi by using username, password and the IP allocated to Raspberry Pi. The config.txt file is located in the boot folder. So here to check that, we will be going into boot folder. Here we can see that config.txt file is there in boot folder. Now let's see what's inside the config.txt file. For that, I'll be using cat command. So these are the details that are available in config.txt file. There are many configurations. So here we can see enable underscore TV out equal to 1. This is actually under hash. Okay, so we need to modify that, and the hash need to be removed so that the command will get activated. Also sdtv underscore mode -2, this is also under hash. So if required we can do that, else we can leave it as it is. So to modify that, I'm using nano tool in Linux. So you can type this command. So after opening config test.file using nano, I am removing the hash from enable underscore TV out equal to 1. Okay, and after that I'll be pressing Ctrl O for saving the document. And I'll be putting yes, and then I will be putting Ctrl X to exit the nano. So we are assuming that the configuration file has been modified. To check that, we will again cat that same file, and here you can see that it is already changed. Now next step is to set the resolution. For that we need to go to raspi-config. So this is a command for opening the raspi-config tool. So here we can see multiple options are there. So we'll be using advanced option in that A8 HDMI or composite. From here also we can do the changes. If we select V2 enable composite, then it will be the same effect that we have done changes in the config.txt file. Also for setting resolution we have to select display options. In that we have to select resolution. Once your Pi got connected to TV and depending upon how the video is been appearing, you can then set the required screen resolution as per scenario. So we are not doing that right now, so I am clicking exit. Now the third step is to reboot the Pi. After reboot, the changes in the config file will take effect. So as you can see, the experiment is done on a Sony TV, which is a digital TV, but I have used only the audio video ports to communicate with the Raspberry Pi. So here we can see that Raspberry Pi OS is booting, and we can see the main desktop window of Raspberry Pi OS. So that's it. So thanks all for watching my video. Please do subscribe and click the bell link to get further notifications.